Hello. My name is Sophia Malik. I am Bob's Red Mill culinary nutritionist. Today we are making Scottish oatcakes. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start those. These are super versatile. They're basically like a cracker, they're like a cookie. They're kind of whatever you want to make it. They're really good on a cheese platter if you're into that sort of fancy thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. I've meased out all my ingredients. Mise means to make sure, mise en place meaning everything's in its place, everything's measured out, as one does in their kitchen at home every time they cook. So Scottish oats are different than rolled oats because they are made in between two stones. And what that does is instead of rolling the oat like you would get with your traditional rolled oats, Scottish oats are actually kind of almost torn between the two stones. So if you can see, there's little bits, there's like some more toothsome pieces, there's powdery bits, you get all different types and textures, which plays really nicely into this cracker. We're also going to add in some whole wheat pastry flour. If you don't have whole wheat pastry flour at home, because it's kind of a specialty grain, you can always just use whole wheat flour. Or you can use the all-purpose 1-to-1 or, all-purpose gluten-free flour or the 1-to-1 gluten-free flour. One of those two would be good. Let's see, so we've got our flour and our oatmeal. We're gonna add some salt, just a little bit, baking powder, and sugar. I've totally added spices to these. I've added some herbs. It's really a blank canvas, so whatever sounds good to you and whatever you're gonna be using this for. I've also added dried fruit and it was quite delicious. Okay, quite delicious. So last but not least, we have got our wet ingredients, which is butter, of course. Everything's better with butter, especially oatmeal. And we've got some hot water. And the hot water just helps the oats to rehydrate a bit more. So we're gonna mix this around. This makes a relatively wet dough. So as you'll see, there's a little technique to roll these out really well. It's looking good. Okay, so this is the true trick of the trade, if y'all are prepared. What I do is I put a piece of parchment down simply because I'm lazy. That's really the only reason. I don't have to then clean up the oat cake off of my countertop. I just throw this away. And that just helps the oat cake dough to not stick to the parchment. This is a pretty sticky dough. I'm gonna keep that just to the side because we will use it again. And dump out the dough right on top. I like to have a nice little bowl of water on the side because it helps the dough to not stick to your hands when you do a nice little flatten. There we go. So we've got it about like a 1/2 inch thick, but we want it to more like a 1/4 inch. So this is where we're gonna pour a little bit more of the oatmeal on top. This recipe is super resilient. So this is actually how they would use in olden times. When there was leftover oatmeal, they would make like crackers out of the oatmeal from leftover oatmeal. So this by no means is like a precise recipe that you need to watch along the way and make sure it's perfect. It's kind of like, throw some more oatmeal here, throw some sugar here. It'll be totally fine. I found it! Okay, so as you can see, now that I've put some more oatmeal on top, it's not sticking at all. And I just eyeball the thickness. You want to make sure that the dough is relatively the same thickness all around, just because if it's thinner in some spots, it'll just brown and cook quicker than the others. Oh, this is rolling quite nicely, if I do say so myself. All right. There we go. So I use this, it's a cookie cutter, to cut out my little cracker, my oatcakes. But you could use this beautiful little scallop side. If you don't have a cookie cutter at all, you could use a cup, just that way. Whatever you have, totally works. Go through, and I'm gonna cut out all of these at once and then go through and use a spatula to pull them all out. They will not spread when you bake them. So we've got a few little extra bits right here, and the best part about this is it's not like, you know, some doughs you can't bring back together because once you've rolled it out, it gets dry and weird, and that's just not the case with this stuff. It's actually a little better once you've rolled it out. It's like you've added more oats and it's easier to handle. So go ahead and just bundle it together and roll it out again. Okay. This is a very handy tool. I actually don't know that I know the name of this.
It's an offset spatula.
Offset spatula. I was gonna say a fish spatula, which I knew was completely wrong. I know what a fish spatula is, but okay. We don't have room for it here, so I'm not gonna put it on there. But we're gonna put these into the oven. They're flaky, they're golden brown, they're ready for cheese and jam. I am too. Ta-da! Okay, so you can serve these however you want. I think that they look really fancy in a basket with like a nice towel, and these are all stacked up, and then you've got some artisanal cheese on the side and some jam. You can also do let's see, some lox and cream cheese. You could do real fruit and lemon curd, so like lemon curd and some blueberries, or what do you love? Steak. Like horseradish, I don't know. Pretty much whatever. They're super versatile. They're just really basic in a good way. Basic in a good way. So I've got some goat cheese here, and look how sturdy the cracker is. I'm like, this goat cheese is cold. Right out of the fridge, and they're not cracking under the pressure of the goat cheese. And then we've got a little bit of some strawberry jam. And there we go. Delicious. This is perfect for any, you know, serving table, or honestly, I like to just keep these in my house and snack on them. They're really filling and they're delicious. I hope you enjoy them.